Hmm. Okay. I'm going to speak on three topics. One is that Shilpa Shetty's husband. I don't even know his name. Okay, because I'm not into all this. But one is Shilpa Shetty's husband, one is B.R. Shetty, and one is the third wave of coronavirus. Now, because YouTube, it's necessary, I want to make a disclaimer that, one is not a medical profession, this is not a medical video, and I'm not an authority, I'm giving you an opinion. Okay, my opinion can be wrong. Please follow the protocols and rules of World Health Organization and your government. That's one. The second disclaimer that I want to give you is with regards to B.R. Shetty and that Shilpa Shetty's husband. It's more of a case of he said, she said. Okay? People who, watch my channel, send me a lot of stuff. But then once a while I get an email or a message or a call from someone whom, shocks me. They have a video conversation and because I don't entertain audio, you can be anyone. So when they have a video conversation, I can see the person's face. And, I obviously ask them, how do I know what you're saying is true? Where is the evidence? So they share this information. So what I'm going to share with you is in the same manner. It's not in any newspaper. It's more like he said, she said, and it's not like someone just sent me a WhatsApp forward. I've actually spoken video with this person. Okay? So please use your discretion, do your own research, and decide what is true or false. Now, first one is, let's start with Shilpa Shetty's husband. I spoke to this person who apparently had some knowledge in the subject. And I asked him okay, what is it that you know and what is so shocking? Now, it seems that one is, this is what this person has said, okay? One is nobody's innocent in the media industry. Nobody's innocent. Nobody's a virgin. Nobody's oh, poor baby. Everyone knows what everyone is doing. Now, with regards to this chap, it seems that people were aware, people at the right places. He had a lot of contacts and connections, okay? And he was doing pretty well. Now the question is, what happened? How come suddenly, all this negative press, this negative publicity, the police, commissioner zeroing down on him? The answer that was given to me, okay, there were a few specific names and this and that. I don't want to take that. These people are very powerful, okay? But it's more like, how will I put it? Okay, let's say, for example, me and you are friends, okay? We're very powerful people. And I'm doing some funny hanky-panky business. And you're doing some funny business. And we both are in a business deal. One fine day, our relationship turns sour. Fine. You go your way, I go my way. I continue partnership with somebody else. You do your own thing. And then somewhere down the line, I make new partnerships. I break them. And I piss someone off. I make someone angry. Now this person who's angry is more like, I'll teach you a lesson, wait. Okay? Because ego has been hurt. In business, when you're in the honeymoon phase of marriage or starting a business, everything is sweet. But when things break up, it always breaks up ugly. So now the person who got pissed off, started reaching out to all the old partners and old people and gathering the evidence. And once enough and more evidence was gathered, okay, they made sure that they, taught this person a lesson. Now, question is, like Vijay Mallya, who ran away, can this guy also run away? In order to prevent that, a step-by-step strategy was outlined, whereby they made sure you cannot run away. Now, is it still possible to run away? Of course. See, anyone who has money, if Carlos Ghosn can run away from Japan in a bloody box, Vijay Mallya can run away, anyone can run away. It's not that it's impossible. But the exact words that was told to me is, they're going to make an example out of him. Okay. Now, what the person did and the specifics of why and all that, I don't want to get into that, because that is where he said, she said starts. But keep in mind, you cannot be running a successful media business. You cannot be running a business in an industry where everyone's connected to everyone, where the mafia is involved, where black money is involved, where big money is involved, where, to do a production, you need a team. It's not one person, it's 5 people, 10 people. Okay, so 10 people means 10 different people mouths, and 10 people, if even one opens his mouth, that spreads to another 10 people. So now, in fact, I found it very silly that Shilpa Shetty tweeted, please watch some movie or something, when her husband was going to go in jail or had this legal case. What are you doing, woman? It's like my wife is dying of cancer. Hey, don't forget to watch my new movie, like and share. Come on, man. Okay, that's one. Now the second one is with regards to B.R. Shetty, what inside information I got. Now this was from people who had dealings with him. I got, you could say, let's put it at 3. Okay, the reason I'm putting it at 3 is the third one didn't sound making sense, but two definitely made sense. One definitely had worthwhile substance with evidence. Okay, so I spoke to this guy, and video showed me the evidence. I mean, B.R. Shetty has made lots of enemies. On his rise to the top, he was like a shark that ate up small competition. If you didn't team up with him, he would destroy you. If you teamed up with him, you need to work on his terms. And if you teamed up with him and you try to leave him, he would make sure that you didn't see the light of day. Means not in the physical sense. He would destroy your business and this and that. And the guy was very powerful, very, very powerful. I mean, the names that were given who B.R. Shetty knew, I was like, holy shit. Well connected. I mean, it was unbelievable, the contacts and connections this guy had. So then obviously it left me scratching my head. If this guy was so powerful, so well known, what the fuck happened that, all these powerful people left him? Out of whatever information the person gave me is, number one is the ego. One is when you get too much of success, you think you're invincible. Second, like they say that Greek, I think mythology, the guy built wings with wax and feathers. He escaped out of prison and he flew too close to the sun. He thought he could touch the sun, and his wings melted and he fell on to earth. So same thing in B.R. Shetty. One is, I think, his ego. Second one is, see, the guy came to UAE with nothing. In his early 20s or 30s or in the 70s, he came. He built a massive empire. Kudos to him. I mean, to reach that level, every day you have to go through success, failure, success, failure. But he had more of success. So obviously, that bias tends to stay in your head that I'm invincible. I will succeed in the end, no matter what. So this belief system that he would succeed no matter what. Number three is, I think he just wants to be relevant. He wants to be in the news, and because, I mean, what other sense does it make? You're trying to sue everyone. You can't win against everyone. You're not going to win against the bank. You're not going to win against Ernst and Young. You're not going to win against these powerful people who have contacts and connections. So each one you'll have to employ a lawyer. For them, they have to employ only one lawyer against one person. You have to employ a lawyer against multiple people. And last but not the least, you know, like I asked you, he was in the UAE for so many years. His partners were from UAE. His financials were from the UAE. Did you notice he never sued anyone from the UAE? Strange, right? Because if he does, like they said, no, when Sheikh Mohammed had to get his daughter, he used the help of the Indian government. So don't think for a minute that if he tries any funny business with the top guys in UAE, they don't have the influence. If B.R. Shetty has influence at the one level, you know, big sheikhs have even more influence. And one last thing is this, I don't want to say who, is a person who was related to him still in prison? I was a little shocked about to hear that. I was like, really? I thought the person was released. So anyway, like I said, this is he said, she said, this is the information that I received, which I got permission to share from these businessmen who are dealing with him, and you decide what you want to believe. And last but not the least, the third wave of COVID. I have people in various parts of the world who communicate to me with what's happening at the ground level. Now, I don't buy into just the news, because sometimes the news is controlled. But I'll tell you, I don't know, this new variant or what it is, or people, did they relax and think nothing is going to happen, or I don't know, they just decided to open up the borders. I don't know what's happening, but more and more people are getting infected. People are just leaving their dead relatives on the streets, or dead bodies. Nobody's touching them. Doctors are saying, why should I risk my life and treat this guy? And then there are other hospitals overcharging. So what is the solution for this is follow the rules, follow protocol. Don't create your own news story from using, oh, they're inserting microchips, oh, they're doing. Come on, man. What nonsense you're talking. Inserting microchips and they are altering and creating zombies. You watch too many movies. If you're sick in the hospital and you can't breathe, then what are you going to do? So the part of the information that was really disturbing is the third wave lockdown. Many countries are contemplating that. Now the problem with this lockdown is now people are going to explode. People are not going to keep quiet. Okay, first time you scared, you made everyone afraid, they locked themselves in the house. But the problem is, fine, we don't mind being locked up in the house. How will we earn money? Where will we, have food? Who will pay for our expenses? Here in Thailand, let me give you an example. I just got this newspaper report from Tiagro. It seems pre-COVID, there were 40 million visitors in Thailand. 40 million. This year, after they opened up Thailand for visitors, the sandbox and all that, it seems 35,000 people came. 35 or 31. Just let that sink in. It's not in 100,000. Where is 40 million? Where is 30,000? What is 30,000 for a country? And then on my island where I stay, where 100,000 people used to come, or 200,000 or whatever big number, the place used to be jam-packed. It's like in the night, if you can't walk without bumping into someone, and girls and guys and drinks. And even when you travel on the road from 8 o'clock morning, bumper to bumper traffic both the ways, or whichever way, it had to be busy. For the place where I stay, where 200,000 or whatever, that kind of numbers used to come. Can you guess how many came? Just think of a number. You thought? Whatever number you thought? Okay. It's not 10,000. It's not 1,000. It's not 500. It's not 50. It's 33. 33 people booked for last 3 months. Let that sink in. Just imagine if someone was opened up his business depending on tourists. Just imagine. Before every 2-3 hours or every half an hour, somebody would come and buy a sandwich or juice or buy from the shop. Where 200,000 or 300,000. Now just 33. And why? Because the virus is spreading in so many places. Here it seems, I don't know how far it's true, but it seems the number of cases has spiked in Thailand, Indonesia. I don't know how far that's true, but because I'm minding my own business. But one thing I'll tell you, if this starts spreading, people are going to get very angry. Because when you're sick, you're tired, you're hungry, you're frustrated. And what other solution do you have, man? And is lockdown the answer? You lock people in the house. Don't go out. Don't go to work. Don't earn money. But you have to pay electricity. You have to pay water. You have to pay rent. You have to take care of health issues. You have to take care of food bills. How will people survive? Yeah? 1 month is okay. 2 months okay. 1 full year went in this way. Now this is the second year. I don't know. Are they thinking? That's why people in France and all these other countries, they are getting mad. They are coming out, Australia, protesting. But the problem is, this act of protesting and all that, you're not wearing a mask, mixing with other people, that itself will spread, no? Just imagine 4 or 5 people were infected and they interacted with the crowd. Each person I interact, I'm sharing it with him, right? And then they interact with others. It seems there's a family here. This my wife told me, a family of 8 people. 2 people died at home. 2 people died in the hospital. And now another 3 are sick. 2, 4, and 3, 7. So what do you do? Anyway, man, this is what I wanted to share with you guys. Not trying to give gloom and doom, and just telling what I know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But please, my request to you is follow the guidelines of your country. Please follow the guidelines. This I'm not saying just for YouTube. I'm telling you, follow the guidelines of your country. Where you're staying, follow the rules. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. And don't, fine, you want to forward stuff on WhatsApp and this and that and conspiracy theories, fine. But protect yourself, protect your family. Nobody is going to take care of it. No political party, no charitable organization, nobody. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. Okay? Guys, take care. And if you have any information regarding any subject, just share it with me. If I feel it's legit, I'll definitely share it. Okay, you guys take care. It's me signing off.